Good morning, guys. Happy Thursday. Welcome back. Today we are talking all about cravings, and I know this is something we all struggle with, so it's going to be a hot topic. Two things I want to talk about. One is how to minimize cravings altogether. So what are the strategies that we can use on an ongoing basis to kind of keep cravings at bay? And then the second thing is cravings come on. What in the world do we do to stay on track? So first, let's talk about minimizing cravings, okay? So I think it was last week I was talking about sleep being a big driver in terms of cravings, right? So we do need to make sure that we're getting good quality sleep, because if not, cravings are going to be crazy. So that's step number one to minimize cravings, is making sure that sleep is a priority, that if you're coming off of a time that you've had a long shift, or you know that you're really tired, do not listen to your hormones in that moment, because know that it's just a hormonal response that's going on. Okay, that's number one. Number two is drinking branched chain amino acids throughout the day. So BCAAs have essentially vital amino acids in them that can help keep your blood sugar stable. And they also come in really delicious flavors, which can be really helpful to get your water intake up and then just get some additional protein that's happening throughout the day. So generally between 20 to 30 grams of BCAAs throughout the day can really help. So what I'll do is I'll make my big jug and then I just sip on it in between meals. Typically, I'm doing about half a serving of them in between meals and then doing a full serving throughout my lifting session. But it really can help throughout the day to make sure that you're continually getting protein and that you're feeling as though you have a little bit of sweetness that's satisfying you throughout the day. So BCAAs is my second tip. And then my third tip in terms of minimizing cravings is you have to get enough fiber in your diet, guys. So with that, we want to make sure that all of the sources that we're choosing for carbs are having some fiber in them, so that they're not going through our system quickly, that they are being able to go into our stomach to keep hunger at bay. So you want to make sure that the fiber or the carb sources that you're choosing have a lot of fiber in them, because fiber is really good at helping to minimize cravings. So let's say, for example, you are going to go get a protein bar because you're really craving chocolate. Just make sure that the one that you get has some fiber in it so that you feel satisfied from it, versus, I know we've all been there, you have a chocolate bar or you have something that's really highly palatable that doesn't have a lot of fiber in it, and you feel as though you have it, and all of a sudden you want a whole boatload more. So if we can find something that that is going to have some fiber in it, we're going to find that you feel better and are not feeling that aggressive amount of cravings that you would have if it didn't have fiber in it. Same thing if you're choosing chips, or if you're choosing anything that you could choose that's kind of more of like a satisfactory kind of food. Really be mindful when you're looking at the labels of the fiber component, because I can tell you, you're going to find that you will have to stop at a smaller portion, or you're just going to find that it's going to be passing through your system slower. So you're going to naturally eat less, or be able to ensure that the cravings are minimized. Okay, so those three, just again, so we got to make sure that sleep is a priority, drinking branched chain amino acids to get those amino acids in your body, and then number three, making sure that fiber is a priority, and when you're choosing snacks, choosing ones that have fiber in them. Okay, all right, so now it's kind of like our minimizing approach. Now let's talk about craving comes on, we really want to have something, woohoo! What do we do? Okay, so when in this circumstance of managing, or in this case, we want to make sure that we are not choosing something that you know is a trigger food for you, okay? So for some people, it's peanut butter. For some people, it is ice cream. For some people, it is like I don't know, chicken wings or whatever. It's a food that you have that you know you really want, but you know that as soon as you have it, you cannot stop, or you're going to have a big portion of it. So we do have to identify, like, yes, this is a trigger food and this is a food I'm going to avoid altogether. And you have to have the headspace to know that about yourself and avoid that one altogether. But let's say that we have other ones, other things that we do feel as though we can manage. There is no harm in satisfying a craving, but finding something that's going to be a healthy alternative, right? So let's say, for example, we are craving something that is salty, or we're craving potato chips, or we're craving popcorn. I'm going to give you a little tip you can use when you are reading the labels for those kind of things. So you're looking at all the chips down the chip aisle, and you're looking and you're flipping them over, and you're like, how do I know if this is a good choice or not? So you're going to look at the total amount of carbs. Then you're going to look at the amount of protein and the amount of fiber as it appears on the label. So you got your total carbs, and then you got your protein, and then you got your fiber. Now, if it's 10 grams or less, it's a good choice. It's something that would be great to satisfy your cravings because it's got some protein and some fiber in it. If not, my recommendation is that you leave it on the shelf and you choose something else that fits that equation. So again, total carbs, subtract the good stuff, so the protein and the fiber. If it is 10 grams or less, you are good to go. If not, find something different. So that's one way that you guys can use that for, like, use it for all your snacks. You can use it for your protein bars, finding out, is this a good protein bar? Is this a good cracker? Is this a good chip? And that will really help, really help you in terms of making that decision, okay? The other thing with satisfying those cravings is I often recommend satisfying the craving more often. So for example, if you're somebody who you know that every day you crave a little bit of chocolate, or you crave a little bit of this, or crave a little bit of that, my long-term sustainable approach to that is work it in every day. If you're in a headspace where you feel as though you can have a little bit versus having a lot of it, and then get yourself to the point where you're having it so often that you're not seeing it as a forbidden fruit anymore. So for example, let's say you're somebody who, you really like M&Ms, okay? You really like M&Ms, or you really like Mars bar, or you really like something in that department. You need to get yourself to a place in terms of your relationship with food that you can have a little bit of that item and still be able to go about your day. So one recommendation I suggest for people as a practice in moderation is taking, for example, a bag of M&Ms, or taking your Mars bar or whatever, and dividing it into individual portions for multiple days. And I know this is really tough, right? Because, like, we want to just eat the whole thing. We just want to get it out of the house. We want to have it be all gone. But really, the practice in controlling your cravings and building that trust in yourself comes from having like 5 or 10 M&Ms at one time, and then not revisiting it until the next day. Okay, so splitting it in so that you are having those items every single day, you're looking forward to it, but you have your smaller portion, and then you get on right back with the rest of your day. And I think that's it in terms of all the things I wanted to tell you guys. I know this is a longer conversation today. It's kind of a little bit deeper of a topic than just being one-dimensional. But I hope you guys have some tips. If you're putting any of this into practice, send me a direct message. Let me know what you're doing. I always love hearing from you guys. And if you have more things you want me to talk about or ramble about on these calls, be in touch. And yeah, I think that's it for today. I know some of you guys saw my update from yesterday, so I get 3 high-carb days. And I'm freaking so excited. I shouldn't be so excited because it's just food, but extra food when you're doing all this volume with your training is like, you know that those extra calories are just going to make you be able to push it that much harder in the gym. So that's why I'm super, super excited about it. But happy Thursday, guys. Let's go kick some ass. And as always, thanks for tuning in.